take something, it helps you be accountable. And what you don't really realize is that Juice Plus works, again, on the cellular level.
Absolutely.
So it will help you crave really good foods,
well,
good
that
grains.
is exactly what all of these athletes need to get them through this race. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And being a founding member of the Pasadena Marathon.
Yes, thank you. Yes, my husband and I, we are one of the 447 founders of the Pasadena Marathon. So we're excited that today the race is happening and that my husband is in the race, and my 4 boys and I will go and cheer him on at the finish line.
Absolutely, and we'll cheer him on as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Sue. And we'll take another close look at the route in a minute, but we have Nikki Ibarra in historic Old Town with a live report. So let's go to Old Town with Nikki.
Okay. And yes, Nina, I'm here on the corner of DeLacy and Colorado. Right here, you can see the first runner making its way down Colorado, escorted by a police. You can see they're just coming about right now. There's about 3 men, all in blue, making their way down. You see right here, here's a live shot of the first runner in the marathon that just began about 10, 15 minutes ago. Right here, you can see them making their way coming down. Very exciting. Now, it is raining here. It was drizzling at some point, but the rain has definitely come down. But it hasn't stopped the marathon. Well, there aren't that many supporters out here. Behind us, we're outside of a Starbucks, and they're all staying warm, keeping themselves warm and dry. Now, as we can see, that the marathon just started, so there's not that many runners out, but we just saw the first 3 runners make their way down Colorado. Now, we should be expecting more soon, right behind us. This is very, very excited. So, Sita, back to you in the studio.
Sometimes the beauty of live shots and the rain, they might not come out close, but we definitely appreciated Nikki explaining all of that was happening out there, and hope all of the spectators are staying warm out there. We'll take a closer look at the route of the Pasadena Marathon. It shows that the bike tour and marathon will be winding through a number of Pasadena streets. We have some maps, Google Earth maps that we have put together. You can see that the start and finish line is there at PCC. The course goes down Colorado Avenue for a short while, and then goes out to Hill and Del Mar, winding its way around Paseo, Colorado, and the Convention Center, then up Marengo, close to City Hall. The half marathon dips down into the Rose Bowl area briefly, while the full marathon and bike tour goes up and around the Rose Bowl, then makes a U-turn and comes down and up around it, and then makes its way into Northwest Pasadena and through East Pasadena. The half marathon breaks down Wilson Avenue and winds its way back to Hill and back onto Colorado, ending up where it started. The bike tour and full marathon takes Mountain East, Pasadena High School through East Pasadena, and takes Villa back down to Wilson Avenue and back to the finish line at PCC. Most of the streets that you can see there are marked for the marathon closed this morning at 5. The Seco Mountain on and off ramps off the 210 freeway will reopen at 11:30 a.m., as are the roads around the Arroyo by the Rose Bowl. Streets around Old Pasadena, South Lake, and Caltech should reopen between 8:30 and 9. Pasadena by 11 a.m., East Pasadena by 1:45 p.m., and the start and finish line on Colorado by PCC will reopen by 5 p.m. Well, we are winding down this first hour of our marathon coverage. And we will have 2 more hours to go. We are live here for until 9 a.m. And we are just going to be taking a short break and then coming back with you in a few minutes. Welcome back, and thank you for watching CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. I'm Sunita Joshua Madison, and you've been watching a special Crown City News coverage of the 3rd annual Pasadena Marathon. We're bringing you 3 hours of live coverage, which we started at 6 o'clock and will be here until 9. CCN's Natalie Tavidian and Lakendra Tooks have been showing us all the action and festivities happening on the Pasadena City College campus, where all the events start and finish. They just opened a kids zone near the finish line, hosted by Moms in Motion LA. There are festival booths, and soon there will be a finish line festival to cheer on the over 8,000 athletes that are going on. PCC. CCN's Lakendra Tooks, who's there with the new school president, Dr. Mark Rocha. Lakendra, are you there?
in the studio. This is LaKendra Tooks with Crown City News, and I am here live with the president of PCC, Dr. Mark Rocha. How are you doing today?
Even though it's raining out there, but no, it's a great morning.
All right, so I know that you just recently became the president of PCC. This is your going.
Oh, it's been a great year. PCC is a great college, and just so honored to be able to, be the president now. It's been a challenging year, but I tell you, one thing that I've learned is that the faculty, staff, and students here are just the best. They're just the greatest people in the world. Just love it.
Tell us a little bit about PCC's involvement with the marathon today.
Well, we're the host site. We've worked with the marathon since the beginning, and to be the center or the starting and the finish line. It's a great community event, great coordination with the city of Pasadena and our police department and Pasadena's police department. It's just an opportunity, since we're a community college, it's a great opportunity for us to show how we serve the community.
All right, and now, are you an athlete?
Well, I don't know if I call it an athlete. I'm a jogger, so a little bit later, I'm gonna get out there and do the 10K if it's not raining too hard.
You're not gonna let a little rain hold you back? Come on.
Well, I ran the marathon a couple years ago, and I finished, thank goodness. But no, I'm gonna get out there and do my 10K.
All right, yeah, good. I mean, I don't think you have to worry about messing up your hair or anything like that.
No, not today.
Now, how do you think of an event like why do you think an event like the Pasadena Marathon will bring out so many people in the rain?
Well, running, biking too, but running, everyone is interested in fitness and wellness, and so all of us know that one way or another, we got to get out there and do something, whether we're walking, we're running, we're jogging, walking the dog or whatever. And it just seems like the marathon is getting bigger and bigger. They tell me that this year we have more starters than ever in the half marathon and marathon. It's just getting to be a great, big old Pasadena event, Pretty soon it'll be as big as the Rose Parade, maybe.
I'm sure it's well on its way. Thank you so much for talking with us today, Dr. Rocha. Back to you in the studio, Sunita.
Okay, and we have a special treat with Anthony Smilkovich. He seems to have a very fancy bike for us as he brings us another weather report. Thanks for being here, Anthony.
Hi, Sunita. I was inspired by our interview earlier with Pasadena Cyclery, and so I decided to try out their bicycle here. Oh my gosh.
Oh no,
okay.
Don't hurt yourself, Anthony.
Well, I don't care about me. It's a $6,000 bike.
Yeah,
if I break it, I'll be breaking the bank here. But yeah, this is a great bicycle. And I asked him, I said, well, for $6,000, what do you get? And he says, you get a very light bicycle. And that makes it so that when you're pedaling, it's very easy to pedal. And it's perfect for a race like this today that the bicyclists are out. So how about if while I do this.
Now, is that the same bike that Team Radio Shack's going to be riding? I see Radio Shack on there.
Well, I guess so. Oh, pick up the bike and hold it. But if I fall, I'll become a YouTube sensation, you guys, okay? All right.
We'll bring up our ratings.
All right, so yeah, it's very light actually. I can hold it with one hand and it's fantastic. I don't know what else to say, but it's from Pasadena Cyclery, and they're the ones who wanted to bring this in today and show us their cool bicycles. So, all right, how about if we actually take a look at the weather? The weather is going really well today. It's a little drizzly in certain parts. It's going to be in the mid-50s right now, and then later on today, it's going to warm up. But let's take a look at the overnight temperatures first. Overnight we had, oh, thank you very much. All right, overnight we had temperatures in the 50s. So Glendale 51, Pasadena 51, Alhambra 51, Monterey Park 52. And let's take a look at what the temperature is going to be like later on today with our neighborhood highs. Those are in the 60s, mid-60s. Glendale 65, Pasadena 61, Alhambra 65, and over in Arcadia 64, and Monrovia in the 60s. We have a satellite image of what the storm was looking like earlier when it came down, and that's the storm coming through right in here. And you can see just right in here is the very front end of that weather system, and that's what's coming through and giving us the rain this morning. All right, so for later on in the week, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. It is going to get a little rainy, especially on Tuesday. There's 60% chance of rain, but then the rest of the week is clearing up. If you see Tuesday, rainy, Wednesday, 20% chance of rain, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday is going to make for a fantastically beautiful weekend. So, Sunita, that's the weather for you right now and what it's going to look like. So, back to you.
All right, well, we look forward to those sunny days coming in at the end of the week. But, you know, as you had mentioned earlier, Anthony, there is a silver lining that the athletes aren't going to get too hot out there. So we do have a special, we're going to go back into the field with Natalie Tavidian at PCC, and she has an interview for us. What do you have for us, Natalie?
Sunita, the marathon, the half marathon, and the bike tour are on their way. We just saw the bike tour, a couple of cyclists, and actually we're seeing a whole bunch of them come in right now, and they're being asked to slow down because of the rain. But I'm also here with Helen Mitchell, who's here supporting her husband and a couple of her friends. Helen, how are you doing here today?
I'm doing great. A little cold, but I'm out here.
Was your husband prepared for the marathon today? Is he prepared for this weather?
I mean, I think rain's a contingency that you always have to plan on, but I mean, he was going to do it rain or shine, and I think that's just kind of the attitude that all marathoners have to have.
And how many marathons has he done?
This is his fourth.
His fourth one. Are you hoping he sees you cheering him on when he ends?
He was hoping for a 4-hour marathon or under, so hopefully around 10:30-ish, maybe less than that.
And you're one of many supporters that we're seeing out here today. What do you think about all the crowd involvement?
I mean, I think it's great having been to events like this before. I mean, I think, there's just kind of an energy that you pick up on with everyone else there. And, it's just, after putting your body through so much, it's so nice for the runners to just have that support at the end. That's what gets them through.
Is there anything he's doing to kind of stay warm or stay entertained? I mean, aside from the scenery, is there anything else he's doing?
I mean, he's got his headphones on for staying warm. I mean, I think just running is what keeps him warm. He's not wearing any special gear because we didn't plan for rain.
So kind of using the music to keep him pumped and using the crowd to feel that energy.
Yeah, but other than that, it's just him in the rain.
And who else is he running with?
Our friend Tom, and then I actually have a coworker on my poster. My coworker is running.
So that's the three of them running.
Yeah, in no particular order. I just drew 3 guys on there.
Well, we hope that he sees your sign when he gets to the finish line out here in Colorado. Sunita, we're going to send that back to you in the studio.
What show?
TV.
We don't either. Well, we are here with a very special guest. From knee problems to muscle strains to stress fractures, injuries can sideline the best runners. However, with the right training, athletes can prevent injuries and reach their optimal performance. We have Becky Tober, I'm sorry about
That's
that.
okay.
With Sierra Fitness, and you're going to give us some insight into training and personal fitness and how these athletes can perform at their peak.
Yes, we've been located in Sierra Madre now since the mid-90s, and we have a really wonderful atmosphere, very open, low-key, welcoming. And what we stress there and what my ideology surrounds is moderation. Making sure.
Well, how can you run a marathon with moderation?
You can. Believe it or not, you can. And also, believe it or not, my ideology surrounds a three-legged stool, and the running part falls into the stress level category more than the fitness category. So my fitness ideology surrounds keeping muscle on your body, keeping muscle with moderate training throughout a lifetime. Then the second leg is food, which we all know about, which has to have some good fats in it, but needs to be relatively low in fat. And then that third level, which is running, biking, walking on the beach, whatever it is for you in particular that gets you to relax.
Becky, Sunita mentioned about fractures and different things. I assume you're going to talk a little bit about that. But I notice that if I go to the gym and I overdo it, it really derails my workout.
That's
and
right.
I end up not going to the gym. I break my routine, and it's even harder then to get back into the routine.
Exactly right.
What is that? Why is it so hard to get back into the routine after something like that?
Well, because a lot of personal training and training for any kind of athletic endeavor is mental. So once you stop that ball rolling, it's hard to get it going. So you have to just keep it moderate throughout a lifetime. And also, to prevent all of these injuries you're talking about, you need to keep muscle around all of your joints.
So what's the best way to keep muscle?
You have to have that first leg, which was resistance training, to keep the muscle around mainly the hips and the knees if you're a runner. But everywhere else if you're doing any other kind of athletic endeavor.
Now, a lot of runners say that they don't want to bulk up, you know, with strength training and things like that.
I'm good with that. Even though former competitive bodybuilder, truth be told, natural, so I had to learn all about nutrition. So if I was doing all these drug-tested shows and I had to have muscle, that's not an easy thing to do. So I really made it my mission to figure out how to do it in a healthful way.
Are there certain exercises that what should people do? Like curls or something? Or for your legs, that wouldn't be curls, but leg curls or something?
Again, it goes to general fitness. So if you're going to do just a few exercises, you want to get the most bang for your buck, there are the crunches that we know about because you want strength in your core. But the biggies are push-ups and squats or lunges.
The ones I hate doing.
Everybody.
But those seem so simple. I mean, people, that's been, it
really,
seems like we've been doing it for hundreds of years to exercise.
And no matter what anyone tells you, there are only a few exercises that exist in terms of the way your body moves kinesthetically. We just do motivations of them.
Oh, interesting.
Just to keep it interesting and to keep us going,
To keep it interesting, but also because you have to shock your muscles. Muscles will only grow if they're doing something they haven't had to do before. If you did that same exercise each time you went to the gym, it would only work once or twice.
So is that why athletes sometimes plateau? They're not pushing
right.
themselves hard enough at some
Or
point?
they're not changing it up. You know, even if you did a push-up flat on the ground one day, and then the next time you go in, you do it on an incline, or you do it with your feet up.
So how do you, I'm sorry, how do you, you know, with a lot of times when you start working out and, you know, it takes so long to finally see those results, how do you motivate people to
This is the main problem. It's not instant gratification. And we all just have to get over that. I mean, that's the honest truth. You have to be committed to it. The way I try to get people to look at it, though, when they come in to train just for the hour they're with me, that in and of itself is an achievement. So be proud that you got there, you got dressed, you got in the car, you showed up, you did what I forced you to do, even if you hated it. That's an achievement.
Do people say a lot of bad things to you out there in your program?
It's not like going to a hairdresser where you get out, you know, you're happy and nothing hurt. You know, this is hard.
So does it count if I get dressed and I drive all the way over there and then I listen to the radio instead outside of the...
I'm thinking
does that count?
No.
Okay.
No, but again, this goes to moderation. So if you knew you weren't going to be killed when you walked in, you'd walk in.
Okay. And so are those some of the mistakes rookies make? They just go at it way too hard?
Absolutely. Unless you're a competitive bodybuilder, and I did that for a 5-year limit. I said, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to get as far as I can go, and then that's it. Because it isn't actually healthy to be training that hard. Oh, wow. We need general fitness, we need general health, we need to keep the good fats in our diet. You know, the problem with dietary fat, it's called fat.
And it's all, you know, taboo
and no one
for all
thinks,
of us, right?
why would you want to eat fat if I'm trying to lose fat? But it is crucial for brain health, for heart health.
You know, more and more I've been reading articles saying that, you know, having non-fat milk and all those things, it's not good for you.
That's right.
It's
if you take it out completely, number one, you're going to gain fat because your body's losing that balance, but also you will be malnourished, more importantly.
And Becky, I have a question. A lot of people who are running in the race today, they have their eyes on the prize. Today's the big reward. And then afterwards, you know, I can see myself, maybe this is more reflective of me, but I'm like, okay, now it's time to relax. And I would break the routine. Is there a way people can kind of maintain that healthy lifestyle without being so hardcore about, you know, trying to make it through a marathon?
Yes, you can. If you're self-motivated, you're very lucky. Most people aren't. So you buddy up, you hire a trainer, you get on some accountability system. That is the big deal, to know that someone's expecting you to be somewhere. Or to know that when I competed, because truth be told, I hated training that hard. But if I put it out to the universe that I was going to be training for this particular event, I knew I couldn't get out of it. There was shame level involved.
So what made you do bodybuilding?
Well, because I had become a personal trainer, and from my family history with everything you could name in it, I became curious. And so I researched how to build muscle and keep muscle on your body, which, by the way, is the way to stay lean. Even more than running. Running, again, falls into the stress level release, and it does burn calories as you're doing it. However, keeping muscle on your body is the way to stay lean for life.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that, and you know, you're going to provide me and both of us, I think, the motivation to maybe get out of that car if I'm dressed and ready to go to the gym. So thank you for coming on.
You're very welcome.
Okay. Well, we are going next to, we're coming up to the start of the 5K, but we are going to check in with Luna Petty. She's in Northwest Pasadena. And are you there, Luna? What do you have for us?
Thank you. Can you see my leg? Okay. Yes.
Can you hear us, Luna?
Sure. Hi, I'm here with Jose, a biker in the Pasadena Marathon. Jose, what motivated you to do the bike to marathon this year?
A couple friends are doing it and started riding, so it's more about health, trying to get healthy.
Trying to get healthy? Is this your first marathon?
Yeah.
How are you doing so far?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. Just a little wet.
Just a little wet. Yeah, we're all a lot wet out here. We've seen a lot of bikers up this hill, and some bikers are coming up the hill and just making it look really easy. Some bikers are coming up the hill and they're actually walking their bike. Jose, how do you feel about this hill coming up Raymond?
It was pretty good. I think I walked up about a little more.
Can you move the mic higher?
Otherwise, it's fine.
Otherwise, it's fine.
Yeah.
Is this probably the biggest hill on the route so far?
So far, no.
Really? What would you say has been the most challenging? You're here at mile 14, so at mile 14, you're about a little more than halfway through, right? So what do you feel has been the most challenging so far?
Just the rain. Yeah, it's just the rain. The ride's fine.
Have you practiced in the rain to get ready for this race, or were you doing it mostly in dry?
Mostly dry.
Mostly dry. So I've been told for this rain, we really have to be careful about hypothermia. Are you keeping your legs warm?
I'm trying. I thought about that. That's it.
That's good for you. Yeah, we've seen a lot of bikers, like I said, come up this hill in the rain, and some of them are making it look really easy. And we see Jose walked half of the hill and doing pretty good. Back to you in the studio.
Well, as we were talking to Becky, finishing just one marathon would be a lifetime achievement for me, but some athletes get addicted and can't stop at just one. That's what happened to Yolanda Holder. Yolanda holds the 2010 Guinness World Record for the most marathons run in 1 year by a woman with, get this, 106. That's right, Yolanda completed over 100 marathons last year. CCN's Luna Petty caught up with her earlier in the week.
Yolanda, tell us the story about how you got started doing marathons.
I've been marathoning about 12 years now, and in '07, for my 50th birthday, I wanted to do something different. And so I set out to do 50 marathons, but I didn't accomplish that. I ended up doing 65 marathons and became Marathon Maniac of the Year. So that led to, in '09, I continued on my journey of power walking marathons. And so I ended up doing 77 marathons in '09. So then I decided, let me see who is the world record holder of the most marathons run in a calendar year. And it was a lady over in Italy in 2002. She did 100 marathons. So I set out last year to break her record. I didn't break her, well, I actually broke her record, but I ended up doing 106 marathons. That's kind of how I got started. 12 years ago, I did a breast cancer 5K walk, and I really enjoyed the atmosphere, just the cause, and I just kind of fell in love with walking and just being out there in the open and with a lot of people.
So what inspires you to continue forward now that you've started and now that you've won the Guinness World Record? What is it that inspires you to continue and to set new goals?
A lot of things inspire me. First of all, just being healthy and getting fit. My dad died 8 years ago of diabetes, and my mom is suffering today in the hospital of diabetes complications, and that is what is inspiring me to continue on. And I just want to put the word out there for people to get healthy, get fit. Just a little bit of walking every day will lower your cholesterol, will lower your blood sugar level. And so just seeing people trying their first marathon. That inspires me to continue on and just want to put the word out there. And I'm hoping to empower and inspire and motivate people. You don't have to do 106 like I did, but just get fit. Just do a little something.
And Yolanda, if you could remember, how did it feel when you crossed the finish line knowing that you had crushed the Guinness World Record?
It felt amazing. I'm still in awe. I still don't believe that I did 106 marathons, but I do know with a lot of prayer and just believing in yourself, anything is impossible. Anything's possible.
And how do you wish to inspire other people by the work that you're doing?
I'm just showing them that if I can get out and do from a 5K to a marathon, that they too can do that too. And I'm not just promoting power walking, but for me, power walking is a lot easier on the body, and you have less injuries, power walking, and it's actually easy to do to me than running. But running is good too. But for me, I really enjoyed the power walking. You're working different muscles, but you're not working as hard. And even just keeping a 15-minute mile pace is under 3 hours, and most of the marathons are within that 6-hour limit. So you can get out there and power walk a marathon and have fun doing it, because us in the back of the pack is what we call us. We have a lot of fun.
And Yolanda, how does your family feel about you participating in all these marathons?
Well, my husband, he now, on the weekends, he asks me, or don't you have somewhere to go? But at first it was really hard because I was gone every weekend, doing double marathons and sometimes triples. But he ended up becoming my #1 fan. My son was very proud of me towards the end, and my daughter too. But it just took some adjustment because they kind of thought I was nuts, crazy, insane. But I told them there's a club for people like us called the Marathon Maniacs.
That's great. And what made you choose, is this your first Pasadena Marathon?
No, actually.
Well, I talked to Yolanda on the phone, and she is truly an inspiration. All of the marathons she does, she's so excited about it, has spent about $25,000 out of her own pocket to do these marathons, and she just finds it fun. So she's a true inspiration. I told my mom about her and said that my mom has no excuses. And that's what Yolanda was saying as well. So we're coming to the halfway point of our live coverage of the 3rd annual Pasadena Marathon. And at this point, we're waiting to see the start of the 5K and the 10K. The 10K is a new event that the Pasadena Forward has organized. And that's just to increase events and give participants more options of how they can get involved. And so I think that's one of the great things about this marathon is that it's just been fluid. They really take input from the community, what the community is looking for, what the participants are looking for. And that's been the challenge of moving the dates around. It started out, originally it was supposed to be in November, and as we all know, and which will be talked about till the end of the Pasadena Marathon, well, actually through the years, because we don't want it to end, but the station fires is what ended the initial one, or canceled it, postponed it. But we are now here in May, and hopefully this is the date that sticks so that we can continue to grow this marathon. But right now we're going to go live in the field to Lakendra Tooks, who is at PCC, and she's there live for us. What do you have for us, Lakendra?
Hello, back in the studio. This is Lakendra Tooks, and I'm here at the marathon. We just saw a biker go down. I mean, the roads are wet, and these guys are speeding through on their bikes. We watched a biker, essentially, for lack of a better term, eat it. He just crashed. But the 5K and the 10K is just about to get started. Over 8,000 Pasadenans are here today, braving the rain, sacrificing their hairdos to make the Pasadena Marathon happen. And we're just about to get, as you can hear, We're just about to get started with the 5K and the 10K. They're begging the bikers to slow down. We don't want to see anybody get hurt. It's crazy out here. Back to you in the studio, Sunita.
So Anthony, do you think "eat it" is a technical term?
Oh, of course it
Absolutely.
is.
Especially when you're riding the bike, and it's kind of sad and ironic that they are telling the bikers to slow down.
Yeah.
Obviously, people want to ride hard, play hard, and it's
they're
hard
trying to
for
beat
them.
records too.
Absolutely.
They're trying to achieve their personal best, but it's really tough out there, especially for the bikers because the roads are wet and slippery.
Absolutely. So we want them to stay safe. Hopefully, everyone is wearing helmets. I think it's probably a requirement. You think?
Oh, you know what? I think it is in California. I think you're supposed to wear a helmet and all that. Did you see my bicycle ride earlier today when we gave a weather report?
Well, that was very impressive. I know you couldn't go far because you didn't have your helmet on.
And I was roped, with the mics, I was wired down. I couldn't go very far. I really wanted to become a YouTube sensation.
You look good though. You look
good.
In your
Thanks.
suit and your fancy dress shoes on that bike.
It's not quite the bicycling outfit, but
So you're saying that was a $6,000 bike?
Yeah, $6,000 bike. And I'm telling you, it was so light. I bet it's an awesome bike to have here in the marathon.
Well, we are now looking at live coverage. The 5K and the 10K are just about to start. So we're very excited. We're going to listen in a few minutes and see what they have to say to cheer these runners and obviously some walkers as well. Some people are just going to stroll on through this.